everyone. A couple of days ago, Mr. Bliss here got a thorn in his foot, and it gave me the idea to talk about this topic. When I first began training, a lot of people told me that the way that I train was going to make dogs unable to cope with their environments and to be resilient, because you should use pain during training so that they can learn to cope with pain and stressful situations. So I haven't done that, and so I'm making an opinion-based video on my own experiences, and it's not to say that there aren't other ways of training. I'm just giving my own opinion of how my life has been and how my experiences have been as a trainer who doesn't use any forms of intentional physical or psychological intimidation during training. So that doesn't mean that my dogs aren't having extremely stressful situations, feeling pain, and also being scared and startled. Lots of situations occur in everyday life. For example, fireworks, thunderstorms, fire ants, bees, and wasps, and in the case of Bliss, standing on a thorn. So it's the first time he stood on a thorn, and he let me, because I've done a lot of cooperative care, he let me pick it out for 10 minutes with a needle, and I got it out. And my other dogs who are older, they know that if they get some pain in their body, they then come limping over to me and I make it better. So I don't need to add that pain to then teach them the lesson that I'm going to help them to make the pain go away and that they can cope with it. So my Border Collie Splash, when she was younger, she ran into a bush thinking she was grabbing a ball but grabbed a cactus, and I was able to open her mouth and pick out the 30 pins, the needles stuck in her tongue with tweezers. And I'll show some footage of her as an older dog. I had to give her fluids by sticking a needle in her back, and when she came back from overnights at the hospital, during the day, she would spend overnight at home. She would have a needle in her vein in her arm with a big clunky piece of plastic and a needle in her arm, all wrapped up, that she had to spend the night not touching. So my dogs have had to endure all these stressful situations, painful and stressful. So even like going out in a busy city is stressful for dogs. We don't need to add it as a punisher. We can teach them to cope in these environments. That's how I train. I'm not telling people how they should train. I'm just talking about how I'm training and how I talk to my clients about it. So over the last 18 years, I've lived with 13 dogs, and 4 of them have passed, and I've seen them since puppies till old age, and I think they did a marvelous job with coping and not being fearful of grooming, veterinary visits. In terms of having to experience pain from medical experiences, puppies are already getting vaccines pretty much in the first few days that you get them, most likely, and every 2 weeks. So they are getting quite a few sets of vaccines right at the start of their lives. And instead of adding the pain as a punisher, I suggest teaching them to cope with the pain and trust that all of these procedures are not some sort of scary situation. So in my honest opinion, based on my experiences over the last 18 years with watching my own dogs grow from puppies through adolescence, adulthood, and old age, as well as friends of mine, dog trainers that I know all over the world, clients' dogs that all train this way, I would say I know at least 1,000 trainers all over the world, because I've done seminars in different countries. At one year, I was doing 2 countries in a month, and I traveled all around the world, meeting other trainers who train like me and keeping in touch with them. And I have not noticed a difference. This is my honest opinion. I have not noticed that when you don't use pain in training, that dogs don't know how to cope with pain or be resilient with pain. I would honestly say I've seen the opposite if you work on teaching dogs to cope with pain and painful experiences, and understanding that it's a procedure. So that's my opinion. I'm not trying to discredit anyone who has any other opinions. I just wanted to give my own personal experience about my life with my dogs. See you later.